Greetings, viewers. This is A Vision Entertainment once again, and I'm your host, Tommy Slaughter. We are back with another special show, and we have a special guest. She is Miss Tawatha Agee. She's a vocalist, a songwriter, and born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And we have her on the show right now. How are you? How you doing?
Hi, how are you? It's so good to be here.
It,
Happy to be here.
it's an honor. Thank you. I thank you for accepting this interview. Also, I really do. Yeah.
My honor. My honor. My honor.
That's right. And we're not going to forget you're from the group, the legendary, iconic group Mtume.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yes.
Let's just get into what inspired you to start singing and songwriting.
Well, I've always sung. I'm the youngest in my family, and I always listen to the radio. I always listen to music, and my father had a great record collection. I would always listen to his music, like the Ink Spots or people like that, James Cleveland, something like that. The vinyl records, they were like discs, they were so heavy.
That's right.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, old school,
That's
old
right.
school. So I always loved music. I always loved to hear music and sing, and I love to listen to other people and see what they did, and read about people from all over the world, and so it's like that's what I want to do. I think I want to do what they did. I want to sing and travel all over the world.
Wow, that's wonderful. And how did you also connect with Mtume, the group?
I met Mtume, James Mtume and Reggie Lucas. They were writing partners at the time. They came to Howard University, where I had just graduated from, and they were looking for a group to produce. I was in the group that they came to listen to, and the group was comprised of Angela Winbush and Richard Smallwood, who's a gospel psalmist, and very very popular, and also Yvette Ricks, who is now a principal in Sacramento somewhere. I haven't seen her in a while, and also Shelton Beckton. And so we had a group called Hot Tea, and we were going to work with Mtume and Reggie Lucas. And we did some demos. That did not work out for CBS, but it just so happened that Mtume and I lived in Newark at the time. And so I kept in touch when I came home from school after I had graduated. And so we kept in touch, and he decided he was going to form a band, and he asked me if I wanted to sing in his band. And it's like, sure.
Did you have any idea that this was going to happen for you? Like you were going to actually be a part of a band?
Not at all. Not at all. Let me tell you, I as a youngster, I played for churches in my community, like the junior choir and things like that. And so it's like, okay, this is good. I can listen to the music and sort of duplicate what I heard on the radio for the choir, and I enjoyed that. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I was going to sing in a band. I would do it like in the mirror, watching Soul Train or something with the brush as a microphone and singing in the mirror. But that was it. That was it. So it's like, oh, but I was a music major at Howard. So I was going to be a teacher. Wow, come home and do what 30, 40 years and retire and sit on the porch and just see the kids and then do that thing. That was the plan for me, but no, somebody else had other plans. So when I met Mtume, I was a substitute teacher because I couldn't get a full-time teaching position.
Okay,
and so I was a substitute teacher. I would get up and get dressed and just lay in the bed waiting for the phone to ring.
Wow. Okay.
It became
waiting for opportunity.
Yes. It was I did long-term sub-assignments, like somebody's on maternity leave or something like that. Somebody was sick. And so that was good. But then when Mtume called and said, I have this session coming up and I could make more in one day than I did in a week. And it's like, wait a minute, what's wrong with this picture? Let's sort of balance this out. So I said, let me try the music. And then, he formed his band, the Mtume band, and we started working a lot. That's it.
And it was on from there. That's when it just
It was
happened.
on. It was, but I didn't know it was on, but it was on. It was just something different for
Right.
me. I'm
That's
just
right.
excited because it's different,
It's different. That's right.
Yeah.
Now, at that time, how supportive was like with your mom and your family when you started being in the band with Mtume?
Well, they were overly cautious, be careful. Because Mtume and Reggie, they had just gotten off the road with Miles Davis
Oh wow,
and
yeah, yeah.
also Roberta Flack. So those musicians, you got to be leery about those musicians. It's, oh no, they're really cool people. They're cool people. So, but my parents were supportive, but cautiously supportive, because I'm their baby, and
That's
it's like,
right.
they're going into this new world, and it's like, whoa, we got to be careful about what's going on. So
that's right.
but they were cool. They were totally cool, and so was Mtume and Reggie. So I was in good hands. I was in good hands.
Oh, cool. Then how has your musical style evolved since your early days with Mtume, and what influences have shaped that evolution?
Well, the influences, of course, Aretha, Gladys, Dion.
There you go.
Any gospel person. I mean, and Mtume, we would joke. He would tell me I knew a million songs. How do you know so many songs? So because I listen to music all the time. But music, I knew I wanted to do something in music, but I didn't know what.
Yeah.
And then when the opportunity came, it's like, take the opportunity because it might not come again. Because I don't want to look in the mirror and say, what would have happened if I had said, like in the Matrix, the red pill or the blue pill?
Red pill, blue pill.
What if I had taken the blue pill? But I decided to take the red pill for adventure. And so I wanted the adventure. I wanted to go into that unknown with people who were secure in what they were doing. I mean, they were already established. I knew who Mtume was because I used to read a jazz magazine called Downbeat. And he was always in there as percussionist. And it's like, when I met him, I said, "Are you James Mtume?" Because I didn't know how to pronounce it.
Pronounce the name, yeah.
I didn't know how to pronounce the name. He said, "Yeah, that's me." And I said, "Oh, I read about you all the time." So he was shocked that this little church girl knew about his jazz accomplishments. So, the world was mine. Wow. The world was mine. They offered me a new world, and I accepted, and it worked out.
Well, that's great. That's wonderful. It sounded like you had a good time with them, on the road and stuff like that.
It was a growing experience because not only did I work with Mtume and Reggie, and then because they had their own production company, they produced a lot of people, and I got a chance to sing on these recordings. And what I would also do was the reference vocals for the artist. So I sang the songs before Stephanie Mills got it, before Phyllis Hyman got it, before Lou Rawls and everybody else got it. So it's like, then I could pretend it was my record. But I had to give the songs away, So, but it was good because I sang on all the background vocals too. So I was cool.
Well, you were good. You were good.
Oh yeah.
You played a major part in the group. You were like that piece to the puzzle.
Oh, you think so? See, for me, I was just part of the group. I was just so happy to be there because they were all so accomplished. And here I am just out of college, and it's like soaking it all in.
You enhanced it just a little more.
But tiny did I realize that's what I was doing, because I was learning as I was going. It's just like we enhanced each other, because he never had an R&B band. He always had jazz groups. So this was different for him too. So,
because you came in on a different genre,
Exactly.
There we go.
Exactly.
And as a female artist, what are some of the biggest challenges you faced as a female artist in the music industry, and how have you overcome them?
Okay, I would say that I am the exception to the rule because I was very protected by the people that I worked with. They always looked out for me, and they taught me how to look out for myself, because I was the contractor. I would have to go and hire other singers to do sessions, and I had to make sure that the music was correct. I taught the singers the song at the session, and then I put in the session report so everybody could get paid. So there was a lot of business going on there too. So I appreciated the fact that Mtume Lucas Productions gave me the opportunity to become contractor. So it's like, even if I didn't sing on the record, I contracted. I hired everybody for the session. So, it's good business. It's good business.
And I know that you really love what you do. I can tell.
Oh, absolutely.
You love it. But what does music mean to you personally?
Okay. Music is the air that I breathe.
Wow.
Okay. I could be sitting anywhere, and my friends tell me this all the time. I'm always humming, I'm always singing, and it's like, and not even realizing it, because it's like, music is such a constant in my head. I mean, in the middle of the night, I can get up at 2 or 3 in the morning and get an idea for a song, and it's like,
okay.
oh, I gotta record this and make sure I don't forget, because by the time you go back to bed and get back up, it's gone. You got to catch it when it comes. So it's like, the ideas are always swirling in my head, sounds, melodies, and if I had sung on a certain record, I would have done this, or just if that had been me, I would have done A, B, C, or D, or I would have done it just like they did it, because it was perfection.
Wow. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So that's why I know that it means a lot to you, and
Absolutely.
you love your craft. You
Absolutely.
love the excitement of giving the crowd what they want. You love that.
Absolutely. And having the opportunities to work with such people as Luther Vandross. I sang on every album that he produced, every album except for one that came out when Juicy Fruit came out, and I had to go out on tour with Mtume. So
wow.
I missed that one album, and I can't even remember the name. I think it was The Night I Fell in Love. I think that was the Luther record that I did not sing on. Every other one, my name is up there. My name, you look at the credits. I was a credit reader when I was a young girl. I would read the Philly International credits, and it's like, who are these girls? Oh my God. I want to see my name. I want to see my name on credits one day. And that's what happened. And that's what happened. I mean, I think I spoke it into existence. It was like, oh my God.
You did. I want to get back to Luther Vandross, but you're talking about the credits. We used to take the cassette tapes and open up the book. It had a booklet inside the cassette
tape. Absolutely.
I used to read everything in that cassette.
I used to read all of that. And I'm telling you, it's like, and I said, one day I'm going to see my name in those credits. Because that's what I wanted. And that's what happened.
Can you please give me...
That's what happened.
That was wonderful. You spoke it into existence. That was wonderful. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can you please give me the memorable stories of those Luther Vandross sessions? Like, what was your most memorable story in them? I know you have many.
They are all memorable, because every January we went into the studio to record the new Luther record. And also knowing that we were going to do this record means I would have health insurance for the next year, because we made enough to qualify for health insurance. So it's like, you got to be thinking about all this stuff,
Yeah. Wow.
But musically, I met Luther when I hired him for a Mtume session. That's how I met Luther.
Oh, you hired him?
I hired him first to sing on a session with me. And we got along famously. And then he said, I'm going to be doing some things. Would you like to, sing with me? It's like, sure. I'm not going to say no to working with anybody. Because the one thing about Mtume, the band, the group, the man, Mtume gave me the space to work with other people. I didn't just work with Mtume. I worked with a lot of different people. And once the Mtume record started, the Mtume production started coming out, people started calling me for background sessions, because they wanted that same sound on their records. And that's how I met Luther. I hired him to do an Mtume session.
Wow.
And we became the best of friends. And one story about Luther, I knew he was getting ready to go out on tour. We had done the records, but he was getting ready to go out on tour. And so I called his manager and said, I wanted to audition, even though I knew him, I wanted to go through the motions, proper motions. Yeah. And he said, how tall are you? And I told him, he says, oh, well, you don't fit the height requirement. I was crushed.
Wow.
I was crushed, because I'm 5'2". He needed like 5'7" and taller.
Oh,
yeah, because he had a look that he wanted for stage. And but I was still there. I was in the pit with the
Yeah.
band sitting on a stool because I was too
Okay.
short. I was too short. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh my, I sing tall. Can I still,
But they put
but
you on a stool, right?
they put us on stools,
Yeah,
and I was
yeah,
always there. I was always there. But working with Luther, every session was like it was so much fun. We didn't realize we were making great music that
yeah.
would last forever. All of his productions, all of it. I sang on his. Wait a minute, I sang on Luther's demo for Epic Records for the first like Never Too
Yes.
Much.
Yeah,
That
never too
yeah,
much. Mhm.
demo vocals that we had done and put them on the recording. So that was Never Too Much. Don't You Know That? And You Stop Loving Me for all the Luther fans. They would know those songs.
All
But
classics. All
all
classics.
classics. And he kept the reference vocals that we did. And
Mhm.
so I was really proud of that. And then to be able to sing on all his other projects was like fun. But Luther, such a learning experience, a consummate professional. I
That's
mean,
right.
he knew what everybody could do. he knew
Mhm.
he knew everybody's limitations. He knew how to make us go outside of ourselves and do even better. And he brought such a group of people together. We're still friends to this day. I just saw them a few days ago because it's the 20th anniversary of his passing,
Up his
and
pad.
we
Okay. Okay.
and we had a little party. And so it was so nice to see everybody there.
Wow.
So but Luther, and from Luther, working with Luther, I started working with Aretha because he did Jump to It for Aretha. We sang on that. She loved it. She wanted the same people that sang on the record to sing on tour with her. I toured with
Wow.
Aretha for 10 years.
Wow. Wow. That's
For 10
that's
years.
wonderful.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So, I mean, and she was my idol. I had posters of her in my dorm room at Howard. So it's like, oh my God, I'm singing with Aretha Franklin. I can't believe this. This is amazing.
Wow. You're sitting in school. You're sitting at Howard University in college, right?
Yes,
You
yes.
have those. You have the greatest stars you love pictures on your wall.
Yes, on my wall, posters on my wall.
Never imagined that you would be one of them and along with
Never thought I'd
never
be
imagined.
standing on that stage with the Queen of Soul.
So
And it's like, oh my God, just standing here with Aretha. This is your idol. Sometimes I would be on stage, I would start to cry because I was
right.
so happy just to be able to be on that stage with the Queen.
Mhm.
So she was amazing. She was amazing. And we did some great music together. So
Yeah, she's amazing. We had some beautiful music coming out, a few years back
oh,
because
absolutely.
what's going on now, how do you like the music today when you hear
Well, today. I mean, there's certain things I like, and I have this thing called Shazam. So if I hear something that I like, I can find out who it is because they never tell you who it is when you hear something on the radio. So I like most of it. I love the Afro beats now. I love that. I
it?
love
Afrobeats?
Tim's and things like that. It's like, but I like Jasmine Sullivan, of
Okay,
course,
yeah.
and of course, everybody loves Lauren Hill,
Yeah.
and just it's just
So is that like that neo soul that you love?
well,
Afro
you know
synth?
what? That's what they called it, but to me, it's still
Yeah, it's yeah.
that. Oh yeah, yeah. I like that. I like that kind of Erica. Erica Badu with the head wraps and Call Tyrone and all of that stuff,
Yeah.
and window seat, and just I like that kind of stuff. But I also love like the rock and roll. I've toured with Lenny Kravitz. I love him. Lenny Kravitz. I've worked with Steely Dan. I've worked with a lot of different types of musicians,
Musician,
and
yeah.
I love it all because to do what I do, I'm a support singer, a background singer.
That's
So
right.
I'm there. I can sing in every
That's right.
genre, even
That's right.
if we're doing the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or the Grammys or whatever. I mean, and I have never done the BET Awards, but
Oh, never? Wow,
no,
okay.
no, never. And BET, I don't know if you're listening, but you've never honored Mtume. You've never honored Juicy
Right.
Fruit,
That's
one of the
right.
most sampled songs
You
in
need
hip
to
hop.
honor. That's
You
right. The
need to
most
honor, you need to
sampled
honor
song.
James Mtume and the Mtume
That's right.
band,
That's right.
at
That's right.
least, at least.
At least.
At
That's right.
least, yeah.
That's
Because
right.
he had a few hits, more than Juicy Fruit. So it's like, come on, come on, let's
How,
do this.
let's do it. And how was the connection with Biggie Smalls and that whole Bad Boys thing when they wanted to do Juicy? How did that happen?
Now, you know what? Now, Juicy was done in 83. It was a big hit.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
Here we go. 10 years later, here comes Puffy with his artist
Yeah.
saying, we want to do this. They got permission. It was like they did it the correct way.
Okay,
And they
okay.
took Juicy to the next generation, you
Yeah,
know? And
yeah.
so Juicy Fruit is the song that will never ever go away
Oh
because
no, no.
your grandmother loves it, your
That's
auntie, your
right.
uncles,
That's
it's
right.
all at the cookouts, at
That's
the
right.
skating rink, it's everywhere. And it's just a song that will never ever go away because it means one thing for the kids, it means another thing for the adults. And you know, I saw something on Facebook. It said baby Mtume, and the little girl was singing Juicy Fruit. She
Oh
had on the
wow.
same little dress that I had on in the video.
Yeah.
She had a little plait, and it looked so cute. I said, oh my God.
Wow,
And
wow,
then some
wow.
people are saying, well, she shouldn't be singing that, but it's like the girl was singing about gum. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, but it depends on how old you are, how you take it. So, you know, don't take the innocence away
That's right.
you know,
Yeah,
so just,
from a little girl. Just let her go ahead and do
yeah.
her.
She was having
Mhm.
fun. Just leave it like it is. But no, the music is everything to me. I live and breathe that every single moment of every day. So I'm so blessed and I'm so fortunate because I'm doing what I
That's
love
right.
to do and I can
That's right.
support myself in doing what I love to do. So, and I
Yeah,
had a chance to see the world because that's what I wanted to do too.
yeah, you
I saw the
travel. I know
places that
you.
I read about.
That's right.
I
You
have traveled
travel.
all over the world with everybody, and so
Wow.
and I enjoy the traveling because so you know you can't do it too much anymore. But when I was doing it, it was a lot of fun. I always kept the
Yeah.
backpacks.
But you did it. You did it, and you have that under your belt. You travel around the world, like you said. That's big.
Yes,
You know.
yes. And people really, you see how people really love the music. I mean,
Yeah.
even if they don't
Right.
understand the language, they still love the
They
music.
love the
So,
music.
when they say it's the universal language, that's really true. Because you
That's
see
right.
it. I mean, I'm in Russia and singing with Lenny Kravitz, and these people they don't speak English, but they
But they
love the music.
understand. They love
They
the music.
understand the vibe
Yeah.
of the song. So
Yeah.
it's like, hey, this is good. This is a good thing. It's
You
a
made
good thing.
another good point a few minutes ago when you mentioned the juicy fruit bubblegum.
Okay.
Now, I don't know how it was back then, but what was there any conflict with the song Juicy Fruit, your song, and with
Uh-huh.
the gum commercial, with
Yes,
there?
there was. Yes, there
Was
was.
it conflict?
They wanted to sue us. That you can't use juicy fruit. And it's like, why not? We're not talking about gum. And they said, well, what's the
Yeah,
song about? And what did they say that for? Because Mtume was there. He had to go to like some kind of board meeting
oh
because
wow, okay.
they were getting ready to like sue the pants off of CBS and
Oh
us.
wow.
And
Over the song.
over
Wow.
the song because we use juicy fruit.
Juicy
And they
fruit,
said,
yeah.
well, Mr. Mtume, what's the song about? And he said, oral sex. And they said, oh, okay. And that was the end of that. And that was the end of
Listen,
that.
that's something new to me now. I didn't know that it was about oral sex. I didn't know that
Just
song was about
look,
that.
he's just saying something because these people are on his ass. You know,
Just to throw them off. Oh, okay. To throw them
but
off.
but there, if you really, it depends on how old you are when you hear the song. It can
Yeah,
mean different things to different people.
it
Now,
can. It
when
can.
he presented the song, this is gonna be the new song. I was out on tour with somebody. I was out on tour with Roxy Music. I'm in Europe. He said, you got to come back because we got one more song to do. I
Hmm.
said, okay. And it was Juicy Fruit. It's like, what's this? Because he's writing it as I'm singing it.
Yeah.
As I'm singing the verse, he's writing the verse. And so it's like, oh, okay. So what is all of this about? He says, oh, this
Wow.
just it's cool, it's cool. I never even entertained the thought that it was overtly sexual. Never,
Sexual. Yeah.
ever. Because I'm
Yeah.
looking at you know very well who you are. You're my sugar thing, my chocolate
Chocolate star.
star.
Yeah.
You know, I had a few, but not that many. But you're the only love that gives me good and plain. It's always references to like candy or whatever, something that we all
Yeah,
can
yeah,
relate to.
yeah.
So it's like, oh, this is a fun song. Okay.
You got to look into it.
Never did I
You have
think.
to actually look into the song. You got to actually,
Right.
it's like read between the lines.
You gotta really think
Yeah,
about it. Or you can
yeah,
just sing it
yeah.
off the top of your head and
That's right.
everybody's happy. So,
That's
but if
right.
you want to really want to delve into it, which is what they were trying to do at that board meeting. So he just said, yeah, okay. It's juicy fruit, oral sex.
Wow, wow, wow. Well, being as though
Hey,
you, there you go,
there it
juicy.
is.
That's
What else
deep.
can I
That's deep.
say?
That's deep. That is deep. You know,
Not
when
just
you
knee
hear
deep, it was totally deep. Yes.
it was deep, and when you hear that song, say you driving around and the song plays on the radio, do
Mhm.
you still have the same feeling like it was back then if you hear it today?
Let me tell you, I know that beat anywhere. They could play half of it, and it's like,
You know,
oh, that's they gonna sample. They sampling Juicy. I mean, when Keisha Cole did "Let It Go,"
yeah,
Missy
same
Elliott,
thing.
and it was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh, this is great. It sounded great, and they updated the song,
they
and
did.
so it's
They
like
did.
we didn't mind people sampling. You know, as long as you got permission, that's
Yeah,
fine. To make sure that the pay thing was correct. You know
that's
what I
right.
mean?
That's right.
So I mean, because
Right.
this is it's still business. It's still
Yeah,
business.
yeah.
So we always took care of business. But the song is like, hey, this is a good song. But I hear it all the time, and they still play it like it's new. That song,
That's right.
that
It
song came
it
out in
would never go away.
1983.
It would never go away.
It'll never go away. And you know what? On my tombstone or whatever, they're gonna say, "Here lies Juicy, the original Juicy." You know, because a lot of people have redone it. But I'm always thrilled when I hear somebody sample it. Even a gospel artist sampled it. What was his name? Oh my God, I'll think of it. I can't think of it right now. But
A gospel artist sampled it.
a gospel artist sampled Juicy Fruit, and it's like Dietrich Haddon,
Oh, did you?
and but
Okay, okay.
yeah. He he named it something else, but the beat was Juicy Fruit. The beat,
Hmm.
because that beat is like
You can't
this.
miss it.
Once
Yeah.
you hear that, doom, taka taka doom, pa, doom, taka
Hmm.
taka, and everybody's like, yeah. It's like, hey, you know very well. Yes.
That's right.
But
There
you
you
are.
go.
Yes, there you go. So it's a song that will never ever go away, and I'm just happy that new generations are hearing the music. So and then Tume would be proud of that too. He would be proud of that. Yeah.
I know as well. But
Yes.
you have your own hits as well, such as Thyroid, Are You Serious? And other hits
Hmm.
also, other hit songs that you
Hmm.
did, right? Were they as
Right.
big as the Juicy Fruit?
Well, let me tell you, with Mtume Lucas Productions, we were a production company. So we were knocking those albums out. And then a spot came up and they said, "You want to do a record? You want to do a record? You want to do a solo record?" Because while we're doing all of this, I'm still touring with other people. So it's not like I'm just sitting home waiting for them to call me.
No, you still touring.
I'm I'm working with everybody. Okay, and I'm doing a lot of TV work. I'm doing jingles. I'm doing television commercials, and doing TV shows. So
Mhm.
I'm busy. So you want to do? They said you want to do a record? Sure. Okay.
Sure, let's do it.
And yeah, and that was Thyroid. That was yeah, that was Thyroid. So it was like,
Wow.
okay, we'll do it. And if it works, fine. If not, I'm still working. You
That's
know what I'm
right.
saying?
That's
Because
right. That's right.
I didn't do this to be a soloist. I didn't want to be a solo. I just want to sing. I just want to sing. So me doing background vocals is, to me, that's the ultimate for me.
Hmm.
That's the ultimate. So it's like I was home. We did the album.
Hmm.
It really didn't do that well. So, but it's like, but I'm still working. So it's
But you're
like,
still
I'm cool.
working. Yeah,
I'm
you're still
cool.
working.
I'm cool. So it's
And,
like, it doesn't matter.
and
But
plus,
I
and
got it
plus,
up on my wall somewhere in here.
that's right. And it was just an opportunity. He asked you, "You want to make an album?" Like it was just something that he threw at
Exactly.
you. You're like,
Exactly.
all right, cool.
Yeah, I'll do it.
All
Sure.
right.
I'm home. No tour right now. So we worked on that because we were the Mtume band. We were knocking that stuff out. I mean, we did. Oh my God, we were doing album after album after album. So we were used to going into the studio.
Studio,
And
man.
what Mtume and Reggie did was they would allow us to um, uh, submit songs for the projects. So we were getting our chops together as songwriters. So it's like, oh, this is cool. So it was a win-win situation for me.
That's right. That's right.
It was win-win. So so you have to compete because you want your song to be on the album. So it's like, okay, we can do that. So when Stephanie Mills came up, I submitted a song for Two Hearts for Stephanie Mills and Teddy Pendergrass. So it's like, oh my God, they did my song.
You have so many different avenues that you can actually go into.
Exactly. So many opportunities. And so I tried to take advantage of the opportunities. And so, but we have to submit material. So some of us in the band would work together, and sometimes they would, have songs that they had already written, or we would work together in groups and try to get the songs on the records. And so it was win-win. It was win-win. I'm so blessed. I am so blessed. So blessed. Yeah.
Because
I haven't had to go back to school. I haven't had to go back to teach. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like when you go to college, it's like, well, I can always fall back on that. I can always fall back on teaching. Fortunately for me, I never had to fall back on it because the music worked year after year after. Now it wasn't 12 months out of the year. I mean, sometimes I was off for a month or two, but it's like, that's okay. I can still work at home, but I can still work. So I've been extremely fortunate. Extremely fortunate.
You know how you said you've been around. Yes, you've been around the world, and you've worked with some of the most iconic artists out there.
Mm-hmm.
At what point, even when you do stage shows, when you go out and do concerts, even with Mtume and yourself, you know how you first get that high where you get them chill bumps, like wow, and you be so excited that you.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
But when does that stop? And what I'm saying is, do you still get those same feelings like going out there right now?
You still get the jitters. You still get the jitters. Because if you don't get the jitters, then something is wrong. Something is wrong. Then you should be doing something else. Because you should be excited about getting ready to do what you're about to do. You know what I'm saying? But if you're just out there, oh, here we go again. Let me just sing this song. Oh no, I don't want. Because I think that people can sense that you're not really into what you're doing. Yeah.
I
still get nervous. Oh my God, yes.
Okay, you still get nervous because I just thought at some point that kind of like you get used to it now. Okay.
No, because every audience is different. Every audience is different, and you see, and you might see some familiar faces, and then they're bringing their kids or their grandkids, and it's like, oh my God, I've been doing this a long time.
That's right.
But you still get nervous because you still want to please the audience.
Yeah. What does it mean to you to connect with your audience through your music, and how do you think that connection has changed over the years?
Well, of course, everybody wants to hear Juicy Fruit. Everybody wants to hear that.
Everybody.
So you could sing 20 other songs, but they're waiting to hear do. They're waiting to hear Juicy Fruit. So it's like, so you have to engage them and keep them engaged and keep them interested. So you build up to the juicy. You know what I'm saying? Because that will always be the last song. That will always be the last song because that's what everybody came to hear. But you don't stop trying to please your audience. Even if you have songs that they already know. So and sometimes you see people who've had hits from back in the day, and they change the song so much until you don't even recognize it anymore.
Recognize it.
It's like, no, and it's like I can't change Juicy Fruit. It can't.
No,
because the beat that's it.
That's right.
It has to stay the same. Right. Some things you should not touch. Some things you shouldn't touch. You can do covers of songs, and you could change it a little bit, but the original is always good.
You always got to keep the original because that's what people love.
Exactly. That's what they love about you in the first place. So you want to keep that. You want to keep that momentum going. So that's what you do.
Wow. And what is the most important thing you've learned from your musical journey?
Oh, you have to be able to speak up for yourself. You have to be able to speak up for yourself. No, rule number one, because there's not going to be somebody there to protect you all the time. And then you realize that you have become the protector. And so
Okay.
I bring people under my wing, and it's like, this is how you do this. This is, you want to be in this business?
That's right.
This is what you do: A, B, C, and D. But you know, and you have to realize that it's not all about you. It's not
Mm-hmm.
all about you. It's about, especially when you're singing background vocals, it's about the we. Because, you
Okay.
know, we don't need a soloist singing background. We don't need that. You have a
Okay.
group of people, support people. So in case something's going on, or just say I'm working with Dave Matthews or Lenny or whoever,
Yeah.
Roxy
Yeah.
Music, Teddy, anybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Just
You know,
anybody.
they might be a little hoarse one day, and the background vocals have to pick up the slack.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you got to be there to support the artist that you're working with, because it's not
Right.
about you, it's about the we. It's about we.
It's
It's
about
not
we.
about I, it's about we. So but a lot of people, when they they think they want to be in this business, they want to be a star. It's like, there ain't no stars back here. We just doing the
Right.
job, and we're doing
It's
the
a
job
job.
well. We're doing the job well. And so, and that's, and all you have to do is support the artist. And that's what I love to do. I love supporting other artists.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
You do that. You support other artists. You know. That's
Yes.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just have a few more questions for you.
Sure.
Looking ahead, what are some of your goals or projects you are excited about pursuing in your next chapter of your career?
You know what? It's interesting that you say next chapter, because that's where I am right now. This is my next chapter. I am 71 years old, and I'm not done yet.
That's right.
There's still things for me to do. There's still
Right.
things that I want to do. And Mtume and I had started working on a project before he became ill,
Okay.
and I want to finish that and do it. Oh, whenever I speak about him, I tear up. So
No, that's fine. That's
excuse
fine.
me.
That's fine.
But you know, I just want to complete that. I want to do that, and
You will.
because that's something that we. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Take your time. That's all
Yeah.
right. It's all right.
I get emotional. So
That's okay.
no, that project, well, I want to finish, and there's some other things that I want to do. Like the things with I'm working with a group called it's an Afro beats group, and the music, I love the music, and I just want to try different things, you
Yeah.
know, because being a background singer, you know, you can sing in different genres, so you can sort of get a feel about what the other music is like.
That's right. That's
So
right.
and so I enjoyed that. So it's like, you know what? And they called it like world music, and it's
Yeah.
like, well,
World music.
I like that. I like that. But all that is like somebody from another country, where you're finally hearing their music here, you know.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
mean, we can't be so closed-eared and closed-minded that we can only accept people from here in the States. It's people from all over the world making great music, and
That's
so
right.
I appreciate that. And it's like, oh, I like to incorporate some of that into what I'm doing. So
Yeah.
I want to do a new project. I want to do a Tawatha project, the next chapter. I call it the last quarter of the game, because it's
Okay.
like, you know, I got to make my move. I got to make my move. I
Okay.
want people to know I was here. You
That's
know what I'm
right.
saying?
You
I
want to leave
made a
your mark.
contribution. Yes,
That's
I
right.
made a contribution.
That's right.
So, you know, that's the story, and I'm sticking to it.
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Are you reaching out to any collabos? Are you going to have collaborations on your album?
Yes, I am. I am. I have I call them my nephews. I have my nephew Ohaney Savant, who is a brilliant producer, and my dear friend B Slade, that I absolutely adore. And there's some other people that I'm going to reach out to, that I don't want to call out their names, because they don't know I'm calling them yet.
All right.
But no, I'm going to reach out, because
Mhm.
I just want to do that. I want to do a little something with everybody, so I can just say, like a gumbo, a musical gumbo, just
Right.
because I don't want to limit myself to one thing,
That's right. Yeah.
one style. You know,
Mhm.
I want to try it all.
That's what you
And
do.
I still want to do that. I still want to do that. And people will say that, oh, you know, you're too old for this, you're too old for that. No, good music is forever.
That's right.
Good
It is.
music is
It's
forever.
forever.
You
It's
know, yeah.
forever.
You might not see me on stage, but you will hear the record. You know what I'm saying? You'll hear the music. You hear
That's
the
right.
music.
That's right. And
Yeah.
here's one important question for you that I think that this should be done for you. Have you ever have gotten
What's that?
The star, the Hollywood Walk of Fame? Have you ever got the
No.
star?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
See that should be done. You know, it should be done for you.
You think? Oh, that is so sweet. That is so sweet. I know I went to a ceremony for Luther because Luther got a star on the Hollywood
Got the
Walk of
star.
Fame,
Yeah,
but he had passed. But I went to that to the whole the ceremony. Actually, Mtume and I both went to that, and
okay.
it was really nice because he deserved that. He deserved
That's
that.
right.
But
Okay.
well, thank you for thinking of me
Yeah, you're
with that.
welcome. Yeah, yeah.
No, I never even considered that.
Yeah, you
No,
should. You
I
should. I mean,
should.
you've been in the game. You've been in the game for quite some time. You
A
know.
long time and still able to do it. So and you know what the thing is that I like to say is like when you're working with other people,
Yeah.
you have to position yourself to if you're working with other people, with all the people that I work for, I could always go back and work with them again
Yeah.
because of the way I
That's
left.
right. That's right.
You know what
That's
I'm
right.
saying?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
So,
right.
it's like I have good rapport with everyone that I've ever worked with. So
Hmm.
it's like, I ran into the Dave Matthews Band. They just got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of
Hall of
Fame.
Fame. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
they invited me to come to the ceremony. It's
Mhm.
like, and I haven't sung with them in like maybe 15 years. And
Oh,
so
they
it's
still
like,
they
and they
thought
still
of you
call me.
because
Yes.
they thought about you. You know. Yeah.
Yes, 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 and they gave me a shout out during the acceptance speech. It's like, oh my God, this is amazing. So
Oh. Okay.
it was I was shocked. It was like, oh my God, he didn't mention me. So you have to keep good relationships with the people that you work with,
That's right.
and that's very important because you never know when they're going to reach out again or you need to reach out to them.
That's right. That's right.
So you
Wow.
got to be cool with everybody. You got to be cool with everybody.
You do it, and you're doing a great job, and continue at it. And I can't wait to hear some new music, new things you're doing in the future. You know,
Oh, right. You will hear something soon. You will hear something soon. Yes.
that's wonderful. And would you, what's one thing you would like to change about yourself?
Well, see, if I changed anything about myself, would it still be the same? If I was taller, would I still be able to sing like
Yeah,
I am
yeah,
as the short lady?
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah, yeah. You
saying?
will. That's a good one. That was a good one, though. You
I
know,
don't know because if you
that
change
was a good one.
anything, that might affect the sound. You know what I mean? I mean,
Wow,
the
wow.
only thing I would want to do is to stay healthy, stay healthy.
All right, that's
So
cool. You stay healthy. Okay.
so what I've been doing is like I've been weight training.
Mhm.
And that keeps me good because I got guns. I got guns.
I see you. Okay,
I
I
got
see you,
guns.
guys. I see him.
I
So you've
got
been
guns,
weight
brother.
training, huh? Right. That's great. That's great.
Yes, yes, yes,
How
yes, yes,
often
yes. So
are
and
you
I
in? Go ahead. Mhm.
2 or 3 times a week I'm in the gym.
Okay. Okay.
2 or 3 times a week. 2 or 3 times a week. Yeah, I got great trainers, and it's like, and you got to stay healthy. You got to protect this instrument. You have to protect your voice, and you got to protect your body as much as you can, as much as you can.
Wow. I have to hit you with this question before
Okay.
we get off. Singing on Sesame Street as a member of the Squirrels, I think that was
The squirrels, yes.
Squirrels. How and one of the Oinker sisters. How did that come about with that? How did that
Well,
happen?
I also sang jingles for television and
Yeah,
radio.
yeah,
And so I just
yeah.
got a call from Sesame Street and they said, "We're doing this thing and can you sing this?" It's like, "Sure." I mean, I've done a Hercules movie, singing an animated movie,
Oh, animated.
and it's like it's a lot of fun, but also it's also another avenue for revenue. You know what I
That's right.
mean? Because
That's right.
when you do the jingles, every time they play it, you get
You get
you get
that's right.
paid. You
A
get paid.
royalty, right? Royalty check.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, 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 yes. So it's like, that expands. It's just more than just singing background because it's more, you could sing for a late night show, or you can be singing with a guest on a late night show. You could be in the band of a late night show. I used to do Saturday Night Live, and I would sing in the booth, so you would
Yeah.
never see the singers, but
Wow.
you could, because you're watching the performers on stage, but the singers are supporting the
Oh,
performers on stage. So I
okay.
was a booth singer at Saturday Night Live for a long, long time.
Oh, another one. Wow. See, I never knew that. I never knew.
Yeah. Because see, there's all different ways to be a singer. You don't just have to be on the stage.
Yeah.
You don't have to just be on stage. You can, there's other things to do. You don't have to be in the front all the time.
Hmm.
You just,
That's right.
as long as you're being
Your voice is
paid,
being heard
your
and
voice
paid.
is being heard, and you're being compensated for
That's
for
right.
the work that you're doing. You don't have to see me. You don't have to see my
At
face
all.
at all. All you have to do is make sure that check
That's
clears.
right. That's it. Just make sure the check clears and I'm fine,
Exactly,
Wow.
exactly.
What advice would you give to young artists trying to find their voice in today's music landscape?
Oh, well, the thing is, don't give up. Don't take no for an answer.
Right.
Because if you believe in yourself, then it's going to happen. It's going to
Right.
happen. It's not the same way for everybody all the time. So I was very fortunate, but I mean, I really like lucked up into this thing, but I had the talent to stay there.
To stay
You know what
there.
I'm
That's
saying?
right.
Because
That's
some
right.
people can bring you into a situation, but you have to be able to maintain the
That's
situation.
right.
And so I've been doing this for more than 40 years. So it's
God.
like you got to believe in what you want to do. You got to research what you want to do. Not just say you're going to be the next Jimi Hendrix or the next Aretha.
Yeah.
You got to put
You gotta
work
put
into
in
it because
work.
all those people worked hard. Aretha worked hard. Lenny Kravitz works hard. Dave Matthews, they work hard. Luther, we all work hard to accomplish what we want to do.
Right.
So I would say just don't give up and believe in yourself, and
That's
and
right.
try to reach out to as many people as you can, to if you think that they can help you. So that's it. I mean, it's nothing that's set in stone. It's just that you got to believe in yourself. You got to believe that you can make it. Like I said, I would see my name on liner notes one day.
That's right. That's right. And you did.
And I did. And
Exactly.
and I didn't realize that until somebody was asking me a question during another interview. And it's like, what I wanted came true. What
That's
I
right.
wanted came true.
True.
I spoke it into existence.
Hmm.
So, with the help of a lot of people, because it's not about just you. It's always the group that helps you become who you need to
Become who.
be.
That's right.
Yes, you got to have that family support. You got to have family support, and family might not be genetic family. It's like your musical family, because there are different people who support you, and some people just are not into it.
That's right.
So you can't let them stop you from doing anything, because especially if you believe in what you're doing. So you just keep trying. You
Keep
keep trying,
trying.
and one day it's gonna click.
Yep.
It's gonna
Don't
click.
don't give up. Keep
Don't
trying.
give
Don't
up. Keep
stop.
trying. That's right. Don't
Because
stop.
that last moment might be the one for you. The
Exactly.
minute you want to give up, you say, let me do this again. It might be it right there for you.
That might be the one. And that'd be the one that I don't feel like doing this, but you do
Yeah,
it
that one.
anyway. And then that's
That's
the
right.
one that's like,
That's
oh
the
my
one.
God, this is the biggest fight I
There
ever
you
had.
go. There you go.
I can buy my mama a house now, or something like that. So you can't give up. You got to
Wow.
believe in yourself and what you're doing.
Take heed to that.
Yes.
Viewers, we have the iconic Tawatha Agee. She was on
Yes.
A Vision Entertainment. I thank you so much for this interview. I
It's
really
been my honor. It's been my honor.
We had a great time. I thank you.
This is Tawatha, and you're watching A Vision Entertainment.